So the experts did all that cheering and patting themselves on the back that we had 5 couples stay married on decision day just to get to the reunion and find out that nobody is still married. Welcome to my channel. We're here. We break down reality TV shows with laughter and reenactments, all while giving it to you straight with no chaser. Because we don't just watch TV around here, we get into the things of the things. So sit back and relax. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. Married at First Sight Season 19, The Reunion. Baby, when I tell you, I was sitting here like, what in the hell happened? A lot, apparently, a lot. And we got some things to get into, but before we do, if this is your first time here, sit back, relax, watch the video through. And if you like what you see and you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before and you've been joining me all season, you like it here. That's why you back. You like it here, so you might as well go ahead and subscribe to the channel because I want you here. If you are one of my lovely members or subscribers, hey y'all, how you doing? We have made it through a whole nother season of Married at First Sight, baby. I don't know how we keep doing it, but somehow we keep doing it. Let's go ahead and get started. So as you guys know, Kevin is our host, okay? Kevin has been our host, and it seems like he's going to stay our host. I was really hoping that they gave us a little bit of Keisha, but they didn't. I would like to ask Peacock, since we switching things up, can we have Keisha be a host for the reunion next season? I'm just asking. That's all I can do, right? You can give me a yes or no, but I'm going to just throw it out there. I would like to see Keisha Napoleon again on my screen. That's it. That's all, okay? But let's go ahead and get into it. So we start off with Jaylen and Josh. So Kevin asked Jaylen, did you use the tickets that Josh gave you on your wedding day to go to Burning Man? Come to find out, she did go. Not only did she go, she had her booty cheeks out. She said she had a good time or whatever. And apparently they were supposed to be doing this again and again and again. She said that they bonded and she did everything. She did all the things. And from the clips that we saw, it seemed like she really immersed herself in it, okay? Jaylen said that she adapted to his lifestyle. She wore the outfits. She had her ass out. She was living it up, okay? She said that she was up to 6 a.m. and she starts getting emotional. And she's just thinking about all this time that she invested in this man, and she starts getting emotional. And Kevin was like, you know what, Jaylen? You know what I noticed? You don't have that big old sparkly ring on your hand. What happened? Are you and Josh still married? And you know what? No, they're not married. Jaylen said that they are no longer married, and they broke up 3 months ago. She said that it was out of nowhere. And she was in shock. She said that they were on vacation and he looked at her and he said he don't feel a connection to her anymore and he wants to break up. And she was so confused because he had never expressed that he was unhappy. So she's trying to figure out, where is this coming from? Josh is a liar and a fake. At one point, I couldn't pinpoint it, but I knew it was something. And he's a liar and he's a fake. And at this point, it's a pattern, okay? We've seen it happen time and time again with Josh. Josh says one thing and does another, right? So Josh wants to jump in because we didn't break up on vacation. We broke up at home. It doesn't even effing matter, Josh. Y'all broke up. Jaylen said, no. See, what we're not about to do is play semantics. Jaylen said that he broke up with her on vacation and she begged that man. She begged him to give it another shot and try to make it work. She said it took him 3 days. 3 days later, they was at a concert. They was having a good time or whatever. But she was feeling insecure because he just kind of broke up with me. I'm not feeling secure in this marriage. A girl walks up to them and she's trying to figure out who's this girl. So she asked him, hey, you know this girl? And he's like, I don't know. Did you have sex with this girl? I don't know. And he wants to say, oh no, you didn't ask me if I had sex with her. You asked me if I fucked her. Okay, same difference. Did you fuck the girl or not? Why you gotta be sitting there acting like the girl making up a story when she's clearly telling the same story as you? She said when they got back in the car, she apologized to him and she let him know, I'm just feeling real insecure in this marriage right now because of everything that's going on. So she was trying to figure out, why was he acting so cold to her? And he told her, y'all know what this man told her? He told her, I am cold. And when we get back to the house, I need you to pack your stuff up. Cause what? Time out, hold up, wait a minute. When I told y'all that the way he talked to that girl when he said, don't ever roll your eyes at me like that again, and how concerning that was, and how I could tell that he's controlling, yeah, because what you mean? What you mean when you get home, pack your stuff up? Sir, excuse the F out of me. I knew it was something with Josh. I knew it, and I just cannot pinpoint it. And here it is all unfolding right before our eyes. That man is low-key dangerous. Low-key. I'm not even going to hold you, okay? And then now he wants to play semantics again because that's not what happened. So what happened was we were driving in the car and it was like really quiet for a long time. And then out of nowhere, she was like, okay, I get it. You don't want to be with me anymore. And so he said, you know what? You're right. So you should pack your things when we get home. And everyone's like, that's literally what she just said. Exactly, Josh. You sitting here trying to lie and telling the truth at the same time. Make it make sense. You so used to lying, you can't even realize when you telling the truth. Because moral of the story is you told her when y'all get home to pack her stuff up, correct? Correct. So Jaylen said that it was just so crazy to her because it really just came out of nowhere. And she asked him, like, what was it? What happened? What changed? And he said that on the adventure scale, she's 2 out of 10. And she's trying to figure out how she's a 2 because she went to the festivals, she went to the concert, she went to Burning Man, she rode the shark. So what do you mean I'm a 2? And he said that, you know, he had went and bought a truck and a motorcycle. And when he's unhappy, he makes impulsive decisions. And that's what made him realize that he was unhappy. So you mean to tell me that you didn't have an unhappy feeling? It wasn't until you bought a motorcycle and a truck that you was like, oh, I bought a truck. I bought a motorcycle. I must be unhappy. Are you kidding me right now, Josh? Because that don't make no effing sense whatsoever. And do y'all want to know what he had the nerve to say? He said that he gave it his all. He did everything to make this work. But he just realized that he lost himself in this relationship. How did you lose yourself, Josh, when she was making all the compromises? Oh, let's take it back. Let's take it back. Remember a couple of episodes ago in the review, and I said, Josh is always trying to make Jaylen do something that he want to do. Why he want to take her up that mountain? Why he want to skydive out of an airplane? Why don't he just want to go to dinner and do something that she would like to do for once? Didn't I say that? So how did you lose yourself when she's the one making all the compromises out there in the desert with her ass out? Make it make sense. It's not making sense. 1 + 1 always equals 2. Why are you trying to make it 4? And hold on, Mr. I don't have no expressions. I'm not expressive at all because Mr. Will is sitting there making all the expressions, doing all the hand gestures, all the facial expressions. Sir, what happened? I thought they don't exist. I thought you didn't have that. Kevin was like, well, what's going on? You got something to say? I don't think I'm liable to speak on that. Well, you got a lot to say in your expressions at this point, Mister. I don't have no expressions. Child, the way I was sitting here looking at these people like, y'all got me effed up tonight. Y'all definitely got me effed up. We getting into it. We definitely getting into it. So Jaylen said, I'm not going to act like everything was fine and everything was great leading up to it. We did have some ups and downs. Like, you know, he lied a lot. Really? That's crazy because we knew that. We knew he lied a lot because Josh has been doing nothing but lying. We knew that, okay? And so he said, give me an example. Give me an example. So she said, hey, here's one. I asked you about your assistant because for some reason he needs an assistant. And he said, oh, it's just some 40-year-old lady or whatever. Come to find out that it's a 20-year-old lady. Another lie for no reason at all. Another lie for no reason at all unless he's fucking her. You know, because if he's fucking her, that would be a reason to lie. You know, I'm just saying. But another lie for no reason at all. It's a pattern with him. And not only that, he wanted her friends to lie to her about him dating because apparently he's dating right now. And he's hugged up in a club with another woman. Josh, you are a piece of SHIT, okay? And I knew it from the moment that you said you didn't want that prenup no more, that it was going to be something, very much something with you. And since we didn't get that prenup, Jaylen, take him for something. Get something out of it, girl. That's all I got. That is all I got for these two. We moving on. So now we get to Belinda and Chad and we find out that they are no longer married anymore. And I'm not surprised because I told y'all that Belinda was unsure if she wanted to stay married with Chad, but she decided to go with her heart instead of using her brain. And I already told y'all that Chad was going to be triggered by that dog because that has been their whole argument most of their relationship, correct? Correct. So here we are. Belinda talked about how the intimacy in their marriage changed after the honeymoon. She even said that she told Chad, like, listen, we could take the dog out the bed and, you know, maybe we can have our little time or whatever. Chad said, listen, that's not the issue. The issue is I don't sleep. I don't sleep. I'm up all night. I'm usually up to around 1:30, and that's if I go to sleep, okay? She said, oh, now that you mention that, that was another big issue that I had. You're drinking. Come to find out that he has been drinking excessively at nighttime, according to him, I guess to help him sleep. But it was so much to the point where she would have to get up almost at 3 o'clock in the morning to go and get the drinks out his hand so he wouldn't drop them and the glass would break. Now, remember I told y'all that is very much something that we are missing with Belinda and Chad. This is the very much something that we are missing with Belinda and Chad, because Belinda never brought this up. She said that he would have a couple of drinks to help him go to sleep at night, but she never said that he was drinking excessively to the point where she had to go get some glasses out of his hand so that he wouldn't drop them and they would fall. That man is suffering really bad, okay? The PTSD that he is suffering really, really bad. He needs to be on somebody's couch working through this and not trying to get married to somebody. But this is what happened when y'all cut the season down to 12 episodes. We don't get the little details that we need, because this is the information that makes everything make sense. So all the times when I was sitting there, like, Belinda just seems so happy, like she's saying one thing, but she looks another way. This is what we were missing. So Kevin's like, Belinda, if you knew all of this, why did you say yes on decision day? She said that, she just wanted to give it a chance. But then something else happened right after decision day. So right after decision day, she went to go move into the house. And he had his cat, and the dog came in, and the dog, I guess, like, startled the cat. The cat kind of ran up Chad and stuck her nails in him. And so it caused Chad to react because the cat just scratched him up, and he's basically like, you need to get your dog under control. And she's trying to tell him, my dog is fine, he's not being aggressive. And he's trying to tell her that your dog needs to be trained. You need to teach your dog how to behave. And at this point, she gets upset. She grabs her stuff and her dog and she leaves. I understand it. I understand on both sides, right? Because for one, if Chad is standing there and the cat is climbing up him with the claws inside, yeah, I'm going to be a little irritated. Yeah, I'm going to be upset, okay? Now, she said that the dog wasn't, barking or, saying anything or running up to him. The dog was just, curious. But at the same time, y'all are introducing pets. This is why I don't understand why people don't think this through. This reminds me of that season where I can't remember their name, but the tall, slinky guy with the curly hair and the other girl, when they introduced their dogs to each other and they got into a fight or whatever, and the next thing you know, he had to take his dog to doggy jail, and her dog got to stay in the apartment. This reminds me of that situation. Y'all had to find a better way to introduce these animals to each other, because it always caused conflict in the marriage. I'm not going to say one person was wrong and one person was right, because ultimately you can't control what's going to happen when you introduce animals to each other. And at that point, they should have done what they did, and that was separate. Chad said that he was in a tailspin and his anxiety got the best of him. I totally believe that, because have you ever been attacked by a cat? As someone who loves cats, I've been attacked by a cat, and yes, you can really be flustered. Okay, his anxiety really got the best of him. Is it right that he, yelled at Belinda? Absolutely not. But I can see how this played out. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that I can see how this played out, right? So then we watched a clip from 5 days after decision day when they were having a crawfish party after Belinda had moved out. So Chad is talking to Josh, and he's telling him how he has tolerated this dog for 2 months. Remember I told y'all when they get to that house, he was going to tell that dog, get out my bed? Remember I said he gonna have her move in, and he gonna tell her, oh, get that dog out my bed, right? He tolerated that dog for 2 months. I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. Nonetheless, he said that he gets tired of that dog, okay? But when he told this story to Josh, oh, we got a whole different side of the story, baby. Because he told Josh that the cat dug into him and the dog came towards him, and he pushed the dog or mushed the dog down. And he's not playing second fiddle to no dog. He's the alpha in this house. And when I said that man was controlling, I meant it. Because what do you mean you mushed the dog? We didn't hear nothing about you mushing no dog till today. What do you mean you mushed the dog? Yeah, it's time for you to go sit on somebody's couch and get the therapy that you need. That's what needs to happen. You don't need to be looking for a marriage. You don't need to be in no relationships. It's starting to all make sense why you have 4 wives, because you are easily triggered. And you can't be with someone if everything around you is going to trigger you. And I know that you are a vet, so it's a lot that comes with that. But you need to work through that. You need a lot of work to do on yourself before you can be in a relationship, a healthy relationship with anyone. So now, as the night go on at the crawfish party, they decide that they want to ask Chad, what's going on, Chad? What's going on? And Chad talked about how the dog triggers him. And Jaylen was like, so the dog triggers you? That can't be it. It's just the dog. And then Belinda's like, well, I thought it was the cameras. I thought it was production. And now it's the dog. And he's like, so you mean to tell me like only production could trigger me? Like anxiety comes from a whole lot of different things. I understand that. But Chad's starting to get annoyed because at this point, they trying to put that man on the spot, and he peeped what the hell was going on. He said, I'm not about to do this with y'all. F y'all. F y'all. Because y'all trying to set me up. Y'all trying to ambush me. And you know what? It worked because they used that footage right at the reunion to make him look worse. Now, I'm not saying that what he said about effing them was wrong, but what I am saying is that it was an ambush. And they got the footage that they needed to use it. That's what I'm saying. We cut back over to the reunion stage, and Kevin's like, so Chad, what would you like to say to that? And Chad was like, well, thanks for bringing that up, because he's being sarcastic. And Kevin's like, oh, I know you're being sarcastic, but in that moment it just didn't play well. And Chad said, well, if you want me to tell my side of the story, then you need to shut up. And I said, hold on, wait a minute, calm down, we moving too fast, baby. Because Chad, what? Kevin was not disrespectful to you, and Kevin did not come out of line with you for you to tell that man to shut up. Not only tell him to shut up, but tell him to shut up on a public stage that the world is going to see. You have lost your everlasting mind. So when Belinda said that, she has to walk on eggshells because she don't know how you're going to respond, oh, we see it now. We see it. Go get some help. Get the help you deserve. I don't think Chad's a bad guy. Like everybody on the stage said, no, Chad's not a bad guy. He's not his worst moment. I totally believe that. He needs help. He is suffering mentally, okay? Chad tells them, listen, I can't take back anything that I've done. This has been a long process. I'm embarrassed. After watching everything back, I judge myself harder than any of y'all could have ever judged me. And you can tell that he was really embarrassed by that moment. And Megan jumped in and had to let him know, like, listen, I've had my share of, lashing out too. So I totally understand. You felt ambushed, but it's just something that we have to learn from. And Will said, listen, we all have had some hard moments. You are in your worst moment. I just feel like Chad was just overwhelmed, okay? Even Pat said that, Chad had texted him a few times and they had a few conversations about him being overwhelmed with the whole process and stuff like that. Oh, so, Chad talked to Pat, but Chad didn't talk to Josh? Okay. Right. Belinda said that the behavior that she saw from Chad, it triggered her, okay? She was completely turned off. She doesn't like when he talks to people like that and treat people like that. She said that she felt like he was trying to manipulate her with the whole, production, was trying to draw a wedge between Jaylen and Josh and them and their relationship and all that stuff, when she knew that that wasn't true, okay? Now, Josh is sitting there talking about somehow he never had no conversation and text messages with Chad about, production. I don't believe nothing you got to say. Let's just make that very clear. When it comes to anything that comes out your mouth, I don't believe it. I do believe you and Chad talked. The way you handled Jaylen and the way you lied about all this unnecessary stuff, I do believe it. I do. I absolutely do. So Chad apologized to Belinda because he said, if I hurt you, I'm so sorry. If I could go back, I would, but I can't, okay? Belinda said, listen, I don't think you're a bad person. It just is what it is. We moved past it. And Belinda is dating someone. She didn't think it was going to get this serious, but apparently it's getting serious because Jaylen met him as well. Good luck to both of y'all. Good luck to both of y'all. And I'm just going to keep it just like this. Chad, go seek some help. Go get some help. Your mental is not strong enough to deal with being in a relationship with somebody. Go get some help. Moving on to Brittnay and Will. Baby, when I tell you Brittnay tens across the board, homegirl look good. Good, okay? That revenge body, the makeup, the hair. Ooh, girl. Yes. All of that. When I tell you I was here for Brittnay, I said, oh, homegirl said, oh, I'm going to show you what you're missing, all right? She looked good, okay? So let's get into it. So Will and Brittnay have not spoken for almost a year now, and that's because they are no longer married. Will said that after decision day, he had to go leave for work for about a week, and it still wasn't sitting right with him. Right, because he said yes to her out of pity. We know that. I said that. He said yes to her out of pity because she was sitting there crying and she had poured out her whole heart to him, and he didn't have the balls to say no to her face, which is why he called her on the phone the first time, right? Right, okay? So Kevin said, why didn't you just say no on decision day? And he said all the things that I said, okay? Because she was sitting there crying. It was a whole moment. He felt bad. Duh. So Brittnay said she kind of felt that this was going to happen, okay? She said that she had an inkling that this was going to happen, and she was preparing herself to have a conversation with Will. But Will was being overly rude. He was being cold, and in her true fashion, she was trying to fight it. Baby, when they showed me the footage, I wanted to get up there and tell Brittnay about herself, because girl, don't you ever let a man play with you like that. Okay, so in this footage, they sitting down talking, and he just basically tells her he don't want to do this no more. I don't want this no more. I'm done. Okay, he's getting his thing and he's leaving, and she's like, "No, Will, don't do that to me. No, Will, stay. No, don't leave." And he's like, "I'm done." And I'm sitting here like, stand up, girl. Brittnay, stand up. Girl, you get one pass. This is the only pass you get. Don't you ever beg another man in your whole entire life. Have you not looked at yourself in the mirror? You are all the things. Don't you ever beg no man to stay ever again. Okay? Okay. Now, so he ends up leaving anyway. We get footage of the pool party that they had. Will comes in and says hi to everybody, and damn near, act like he don't see Brittnay at all. Okay? And Rhonda's like, Will and Brittnay, what's going on? Y'all sitting apart, what's happening? And Will tells them, well, I'm moving on with my life. I said, ooh. See, yeah, this one I would have had to deck him right in his mouth, because you're not about to play with me. And he did it with a smirk, too. So Brittnay says she just wants to know, what did she do wrong? Why is he treating her like this? And Jaylen and Megan has to mandle in and jump in and speak their piece, because they can't never let Brittnay speak for herself, okay? And he's like, listen, I just wanted this to be over. No matter what I did, it was never enough. She's always running, telling everybody how I'm not vulnerable and I'm not this, and she was basically pushing him away. She said she was saying that she felt like she wasn't enough for him, not that he wasn't enough for her. And I said that, Brittnay, you was out there projecting. You were definitely out there projecting. He said at one point, she said, if you don't like me doing stuff for you, then I'm not the one for you. And I told you, Brittnay, you have to stop doing that. I said this through the whole season, that Brittnay takes one thing that she feels and she automatically throws it on him, projecting how she's feeling, and he got tired of that ish. Yeah. So now we cut back to the reunion stage, and Will said that he had to be cold and he had to be hard with her, because when he handles her gently, or if he's soft, it gives her hope. And it does. Because Brittnay said that he made it very, very clear that he was done, but she wasn't done yet. It wasn't done for her, even though he made it very clear it wasn't done. Even though he made it very clear it was done, it wasn't done for her, okay? Because she had to have another conversation. She was very, very, very persistent, okay? He said that she called him a few times, and then she said some rude stuff to him, so he blocked her. He blocked her number and never spoke to her again. She then went ahead and wrote a letter. My God. Brittnay, girl, what? She then went ahead and wrote a letter and put it on his door. And this is why Will had to be cold and rude, because he thought that you would get it. And even in his coldness and rudeness, you didn't get it. Didn't I tell you last episode, never let a man tell you more than once he don't want you? We are on our 4th time of this man telling you he don't want you, and you still out here writing damn letters, okay? Now, he said that she came to the apartment more than once, and she said she didn't, and I'm feeling like she did, okay? She said, no, I did come because Jayden live in that building. Yeah, you was hoping to see Will too in the process. I ain't gonna hold you. That's exactly what I felt. I felt like she was hoping to see Will too. That's probably why she was going to see Jaylen as much as she was going to see Jaylen. I'm a girl. I know these things, okay? I know what it feels like to be a little crazy over a man. I get it, sis. I get it. But let this be your last time and your final time and your only time. You got me? You got me. He said he never read that letter. He never read it at all. So Kevin said, well, you know what? Since he never read the letter, do you have anything that you want to say to him, Brittnay? And she said, no, I don't have anything. So then Will said that he wanted to take this time to apologize for not being present and doing a better job by trying to hear her, okay? He knows that he can be too literal and it makes things difficult as well. I'm glad you figured that the hell out, but you knew that already though, right, Will? You knew that already though, right? Like, let's not act crazy. What we're not about to do is act crazy. You knew that already. You knew that you were acting nonchalant. You knew that you wasn't being vulnerable. Right? Okay. But anyway, they sit there and they make jokes about how Will's so literal. And you know, that just warms something up in Brittnay now because she's like, yeah, you know what? I do have something to say now. I do. She said that she doesn't think that he was a bad person or intentionally trying to hurt her. She was just trying to dig for more and more. And it really was all came down to a breakdown in communication. That's been a problem the whole time. Them two just have never really figured out how to communicate. And I'm not going to say that it was all Will, it was all Brittnay. It was both of them. Both of them had two different personalities that was never going to make it. Never going to make it. She needs someone to be very chalant about her, and he is someone who is very nonchalant. Okay? And for her to even think that she was going to be okay with that is crazy. It's crazy. She would be unhappy every 3 days. Literally, every 3 days. Everything will be fine, and then he will act like he don't care no more. Then she'll be upset. Then he'll give her a little bit, and then he'll pull back, and then she'll be upset. Then he'll give her a little bit, then he'll pull back because that's just not him. It was a cycle. We saw the cycle happen over and over and over again. So they needed to say no. He needed to be rude and cold to her for her to get it. Because if he didn't, she would still be calling him to this day and sending him random text messages about, I miss you. Hey, big head, what you up to? Woo, Brittnay, girl, I know I was a little hard on you, but that's because I know that you too good for all of this. I know that you deserve better than all of this, and I don't never want you to settle. And if you would have stayed with Will, you would have been settling. Let's move on. So now we get to Rhonda and Pat, and guess what? They're not together anymore. Are we surprised? No, because Pat should have said no on decision day. Child, but here we are. So apparently they broke up 9 months after decision day, okay? He went away for a month. She said that he invited her, but she couldn't. She had took too much time off. They had too many trips. She had did the show. It was a lot, okay? He came back from that trip, and he was a great listener. Everything was great. They had a great couple of days. She came out the room one morning to go to make some coffee, realized that he outside meditating on how to stay from being angry. I said Pat was about to lose his ish up in there, okay? So she decided that she was going to go out to Pat and say, Pat, what's wrong? Pat, what's wrong? Are you angry? And Pat said, I'm not angry right now, but I feel myself getting angry. It's happening. So then she said, is it because, we're not having sex? And he said, absolutely, it's because we're not having sex. Do y'all not know that Pat left his last wife because she wasn't having sex with him? Let's not forget the things of the past, baby. So then later on that night, they end up going out to dinner. And 3 minutes into the conversation, he said that he was done. Okay? Because his physical needs wasn't being met, so she got up and left. Pat said, yeah, they wasn't being met. So Kevin's like, Rhonda, what happened? What happened? So Rhonda said, let me tell y'all what Rhonda said, because Rhonda got me all the way effed up, okay? Rhonda said that he was insecure and his insecurities was a turnoff, okay? She said that he didn't want to stay married on decision day, but then he turned around and was like, oh, mopey and whiny, and he wanted to stay married all of a sudden, and that just confused her so much because she needs a man, and if you want to say no to me, then you say no to me. If you don't want to stay married to me, then you tell me you don't want to stay married to me. And since he decided that he loved her and wanted to stay married to her, her Gucci dried up. That's what happened. She was no longer attracted to him. She no longer wanted to have sex with him no more because he changed his mind on decision day to stay married to her. Are y'all hearing me? Are y'all hearing me? Rhonda is batshit crazy. You mean to tell me that you no longer wanted to be with him because he wanted to be with you? The craziness of it all. The craziness of it all. And this is why you should have said no. You should have stuck to your no on decision day, Pat. I'm so disappointed in you. Rhonda said, I said I was going to give it a year, so she felt like she did her time. She wanted Pat to say no so that she didn't have to stay married to him because she didn't want to stay married to him. But because Pat decided to change his mind and say yes, she was stuck with him even though she didn't really want to be stuck with him. She wanted to put a show on decision day and make it seem like she was giving her all when she knew deep inside she didn't want Pat. Come on, be for real. Be effing for real. Pat said that he has learned from this whole experience to love himself and put himself first. I'm glad. How old are you that we just now figuring this out? Better late than never, I guess, all right? I guess. She said that she learned that she was trying to control the situation instead of just letting it flow. Well, I'm glad you figured that out. And when did you figure that out? After you watched this? Child. Always go with your first instinct. If you're hearing no, say no. Forget this. Your emotion and your logic needs to be on the same page. The heart and brain needs to be working together. If they are ever separate, if they're ever pulling apart, if you're feeling one thing and you're thinking another, go with what you're thinking. Okay? Okay. Child, we move on to Derek and Megan. And let me tell you how insensitive this damn production team is, because why would y'all play a baby sound when we go into Derek and Megan just to find out 5 seconds in that she suffered a miscarriage? Are y'all crazy? Diabolical. Megan lost a child. And as you can imagine, this was really, really hard on them. Very hard on them because they already were not on a stable foundation. Derek said that everything changed after this. And I feel like, what do you expect? What did you expect to happen? You lost a life that you both were planning for, that you built your relationship around. Of course, everything was going to change. You can tell that Megan is very hurt because she said that she wanted to go to therapy. She wanted to fix some stuff. And it sounded like he didn't want to do that. Okay? Apparently they had a really, really bad fight. And he told her that he didn't love her anymore. And he broke up with her. And she said that, she didn't even know what was going on because he broke up with me over the phone. And, they haven't spoke since then. And I'm like, you know what, Derek? F you. And I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. And maybe I'm wrong. But Derek didn't want Megan. Derek wanted a baby. Derek wanted a family. And whoever is going to give him a baby, he's going to be with. And when he realized that she wasn't going to give him a baby, he was out. Because what do you mean you just broke up with her over the phone and never spoke to her again? What do you mean? You can see the hurt in Megan. You can see it, but we already knew that these two was not supposed to be together. Derek only wanted to stay with Megan because he wanted to have children, not because he actually loved her. He forced it. And he wasn't honest with himself. Because even Kevin said, if she wasn't pregnant, would you have said yes on decision day? And he said, it wouldn't really matter at this point because we still would have got to this point. But because you want to know what he said about his new girlfriend that he's been dating for 7 months? She's excited to be a mom. And we say, I love you. That's all you got to say about your new girlfriend is that she's excited to be a mom? Whew, baby. But they was cutting up. But Megan had one in the bag. She pulled it out. She said, oh, that's crazy. Because you've been with your girlfriend for 7 months, but you was just on a dating app. You was just on a dating app like 2 months ago. Because remember I showed y'all his profile? Yeah, I showed y'all his profile. That's crazy. He like, huh? Yeah, you want them dating apps. I ain't buying it, Derek. You want them dating apps. Mm-hmm. Whew. Y'all, this was the reunion. I wish everybody the best. Because y'all should have never said no on decision day to begin with. The only people I'm giving a pass for saying yes on decision day was Megan and Derek because they was going to have to figure this out, okay? Other than that, none of y'all should have stayed married anyway. So I'm not surprised by none of this. I mean, some of the details was a little shocking. But am I surprised? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nonetheless, I am glad that this reunion went by like this. It was smooth, straight to the point. We didn't have the men meet up, the women meet up, the experts come out. We didn't do all that. I'm glad because we don't need all of that. we got exactly what we needed from this reunion. Definitely did. I really hope you guys enjoyed this review. I really hope y'all enjoyed the season with me. I hope y'all return for next season and stick around for all the other shows that we're reviewing. I really, really appreciate every last one of you who have liked my video, subscribe to the channel, hype the video up, comment down below, like all those things to help me continue to build my community and my channel. I love every last one of y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Don't forget though, get down in the comments, talk about everything that we just talked about, the season as a whole and the reunion. Make sure that you guys are liking, subscribing, hyping up the video. And with all that being said, I'll talk to you later. Peace.